Hello and welcome in this class number 4 of the Aegis Way. Today we're gonna talk about masks and rotos management. Usually, when people use masks or roto, they do it like that. So let's say that, for example, I want to draw a little shape here and make a grade to change the color. So I'm gonna start with the grade and then I'm gonna create my roto that I will plug it here as a mask and then I will draw my shape. So we're gonna do a shape looking like this. It doesn't matter, it's just for the example. All right, now that I have my shape, I can grade like this and that's it. Now, let's say that I want to blur inside the shape. So I'm gonna put a blur and I'm gonna copy this shape like this. And now that I have the shape, I can blur like this. All right, let's continue. Now I want to use the same shape, but I want to move it here. So what I can do is I'm gonna put another grade, gonna copy the mask like this here, and I will take the mask and move it here. All right, and then I'll grade it also so I have another shape like this. Once again, I'm gonna reuse this shape, but now I want it here and I want to rotate it a little bit. So I'm gonna copy everything this time like this, take the shape, come here and rotate like this. And now I'm gonna change a little bit the color and I have my third shape. So it has been quite easy and quite fast to do all this job. Now I received a note from the client and finally is not happy with this shape. We're gonna need to change it. So let's do it. We come here, we come to the first roto, and we're gonna change this shape to match the note. So it should look like something like that. It's kind of an X or a star. All right, this is the new shape. As you can see now, the grade has changed, but the blur doesn't match anymore. And this is because we're gonna need to copy this shape and paste it here. So let's do it. I copy it, I replaced it, and now it's okay, it's matching. So now I'm gonna need to do the same with this shape. So let's copy and paste it. But the problem now, it's not in the same position. So I'm gonna have to match the new position. So first of all, I need to open the right roto. Be sure about that. Okay. I select the shape, I move it and try to match it as close as possible. So let's say that this is okay. And now I can replace it. And the last one is this one. But you remember, we have made a rotation. So now we're gonna need to match this rotation. So let's see. I open the roto, select it, come here, and see now it's a little bit difficult because I don't remember exactly how I rotate it. So I guess it was something like that. Should be something like that. Move it a little bit like this, and I can replace it. And now the job is done. Have you seen how long it took me to do all this job? Of course, here, for example, if I wanted to go a little bit faster, I could have done something like that. But this is easy because in this script is very simple and very small. Now imagine I had to do the same, but with a script that is big like that. And I should have, like, for example, the blur would have been somewhere here. Doing something like that, it starts to create a messy comp, and this is exactly what we don't want. What I can say is that in the beginning I ran quite fast because I just copy-paste the masks and I didn't take the time to think about how can I make my script more efficient or faster to change. Imagine what would have happened if it was animated rotos with a lot of shapes. Do you remember what I've said in the first class? This is quite running like a hare. Now let's see what happens if we apply this tortoise strategy. In the previous class, we discussed about the copy node. In this situation, this node would be very useful because like this we can create a specific channel for the mask and reuse it later using the shuffles. So if I reuse the mask here, I'll copy it, and now I create a copy node and plug it to my background. So now the copy node by default copies the RGB alpha of the A input, so here we have this alpha, and copy it to the alpha channel of the background of the B input. And here, as you can see, we have a new alpha that is the mask. But what I want to do is to create a new channel for the mask to reuse it later. So we come here, click on new, and now we're gonna give a name to this new channel. In order to be organized with the names, it's important to set a name convention. It's gonna be easier later and we will avoid further problems. So usually what I do when I give names, I separate everything by type, element, and the channel name. So here, what I do is, first I give the type. Okay? So this can be, for example, mask, or roto, or mat, for example. Okay? Followed by an underscore like that. Then I give the name of the element. Okay? This can be, for example, head, or arm, or can be a door or whatever, all right? So this is the name of the element. And at the end, we're gonna give the name of the channel. And for that, it's important to put a dot first and then the name of the channel. I advise you to use or red, or green, or blue, or alpha. You can also put R, G, B, A, or whatever name you like, but you're gonna see this is the naming convention of Nuke and this will be recognized. So now that our naming convention has been set, we can give a name to our new channel. This is a mask, so as a type I will put mask underscore the name of the element. I will call it shape 01, and as the channel I'll call it alpha because this is what I need. Nuke is asking if we want to create a new layer. Of course we want, so I click yes. I will also create 3 other channels to show you why it's easier and helpful to use the Nuke's naming convention. So I create a new copy node, and here I will call my new channel mask underscore shape 01 underscore test 01 dot A. I create the new layer, once again another copy node, and this time I will call it mask underscore shape 01 underscore test 02 dot red, and the last one I will give a personal name to the channel, and this one is gonna be called mask underscore shape 01 underscore test 03 dot, let's say, test. Let's put a layer contact sheet and see what we have. So I create a layer contact sheet here, and as you can see now I have all my layers. I have the background, the mask shape 01, the mask shape 01 test 01, the test 02, and the test 03. To extract those channels, now we're gonna use a shuffle node. So let's create a shuffle node. And here we will see what I was talking about. If I come here and I say I want the mask shape 01, the one that we've called .alpha. As you can see here, it's automatically plugged to the RGBA alpha and it's white. This is because we used the Nuke's naming convention. Now let's see what happens if we use the channel that we have called .A. So I create a new shuffle node. And here I call the test 01. And as you can see, it's .A, but now it's green and it's not automatically plugged. I have to do it manually like that. The test 02, I called the channel .red. So let's see what happened. So if I create here a new shuffle, and if here I called the test 02, as you can see, because it's called .red, now it's red and it's automatically plugged to the RGBA.red. And finally, let's see what happened with test 03. But at this stage, I'm pretty sure you already guessed. So I create a new shuffle. And here I call test 03. And as you can see, like for the .A, it's now green and I have to plug it manually. This means that you can call the channel whatever you like, but if you respect the Nuke's naming convention, it's gonna be easier and faster to work with. Here I have created some other masks. As you can see, I tried to keep our naming convention of the mask, the roto and the mat. And if I made this is to show you how it's easier now to find them here because all of them are grouped together. As you can see, all the masks are grouped together, the mat and the roto as well. Like this, when you start to have a lot of them, is way easier to keep everything organized. Now that all our channels are ready, let's redo this job. First, we're gonna copy all of this and paste it to our new pipe. Then we're gonna tell the nodes which mask to use. So here, we're gonna tell him to use the mask here. In our example, we always use the same mask, it's just translated or rotated. Let's call the first mask with a shuffle. The name was mask_shape01. And now I can plug the mask input to the shuffle. And there you go. This is called the explicit way, because you can clearly see that I'm shuffling out this mask shape 01 and I'm using it as a mask in the grade node. There is another way called the implicit way that is a little bit harder to read than the explicit way, but creates much cleaner script. When it's just about masks, I usually prefer to use the implicit way. For that, most nodes have a mask option in their properties. For the grade node, you can find it here. Let's see how it works with the blur. If we open the blur node, now we can select which mask we want to use. In our case, we want to use the mask shape01.alpha. As you can see now, there is this little M that appeared and it says that we are using the mask shape01.alpha, and the result is this. As you can see, this works the same way as this, but the script is now cleaner. Now, let's see how we can move the mask to put it here. Once again, we have two different methods. In the first one, we're gonna use a shuffle and a regular transform node. Let's copy this one and create a transform node. Now I can move my mask where I want. If we check here, as you can see, I don't see it in the RGB channel. I just see it in the alpha channel. So to help me, what I can do is inside the shuffle here, I can plug the RGB with the alpha, so I can see it in each channel. Now I can move my mask where I want, and I need it here. Here I can adjust it, like this. For the second method, I'm gonna use a transform mask. This node works the same way as a regular transform, but you can transform only one channel, and this is what we are looking for. First of all, we're gonna tell the node which channel we want to move. And the one we need is the mask shape 01. Now we can move it where we want. As you can see here, nothing happened. This is because we moved the channel mask shape 1, but we didn't tell the grade node to use this specific channel. Let's fix that. Open the grade node, and here we're gonna tell we want to use the shape 01 alpha. And because the mask input is plugged here, we're gonna take the mask shape 01 plus the transform we've made. As you can see here, if I disable the transform, the mask go back where it was. In order to match our previous example, now I need to rotate the mask. So let's do it. It's a little bit difficult to read when I use the gizmo like that, so we still can use here the slider and move it a little bit. Now all our masks are set properly, but don't forget, we received a client node that asked us to change the shape of the mask. This time, because we are reusing the same channel every time with just an offset, let's see what happened when we change the original shape. Let's open our mask. It's this one. This is our first mask, so let me close everything so it's gonna be a little bit clearer. And now we can change the shape, like this. Remember, it was some kind of a star. As you can see, all the shape are updating at the same time. So that means that now I just have to make the change once and it's gonna be updated everywhere. This time it took a little bit longer in the beginning to set everything, but now if I have to make a change, everything goes way faster. Think about how useful it's gonna be if you have to change an animated roto, or you don't have to think about how many times you copy paste the shape. Now you just have to change the first one, the original one, and all of the others is gonna be updated at the same time. Once again, the tortoise wins the race. There is one last thing that I want to show you. I've used copy nodes to copy my shape into my main pipe. But as you can see now, we have a bunch of copy nodes like that with just one roto. This is not the most efficient way. Now that you know that we can create channels to use our shape or our masks, you should know that we can do all of this directly inside the roto node. If I open my roto node, here you can see that I'm outputting the alpha. Okay? If I take a look at my channel here in the alpha, I have my shape. But instead of outputting in the alpha, I can tell the node to output in none, and here I can create a new channel. And this works exactly the same as the copy node. Let me show you reusing these nodes here. I just copy them, put them here, and reuse the same background. Like this. Alright? Now, my first roto is this one. I don't want to output them in the alpha like it was. I say none, and here I create a new channel. So once again, it's a mask, and this time I'm gonna call it shape 10.alpha. Yes, and I'm gonna do the same with the other's roto. And the last one, none, and then I call it mask rectangle. Now, if we take a look, we're gonna see that our channels have been created the same way. You see? You have it here. And if I reuse the work I've done just before, this here, and I copy paste here, like this, I just need to tell all the shuffles and the mask to use the correct one because I changed the name. So here, it's now the shape 10, it's this one. Here, same, it's the shape 10. Same here. And once again, here and here. And now if we plug our viewer, this is the result. It's exactly the same. So this is even cleaner than this one. And now what you can do is put all your roto in the beginning of your script, put a backdrop like this, and from now on, if you need to change your roto, it's gonna be easier to find them because they are all here in the beginning of the script, and if you change one shape, all the shape will be updated. Alright, that's it for today. What we have seen is very helpful to keep a script organized, and this will be a huge time saver in your future project. I hope you have learned something. My name is Alex Gaudiano, and I see you in the next class. Thank you very much for watching. Just before leaving you, I would like to give you an information. This course is 100% free and I'm not paid for it. I really made it with the desire to share knowledge with you. But if you like to reward or support the job I've done, you can give me a tip by following the PayPal link in the description. Once again, thank you very much and see you soon.